Let's talk history. Let's talk about the evolution of marketing. Understanding how marketing as a profession has developed, it might help you understand why some companies are still a bit behind. So you can help them to get back to the here and now, right? This image, these two advertisements of Levi's, sometimes I really use them when I help companies that I see are still a bit behind. And what do I mean with behind? Well, in the 1900s, the marketing was really about product orientation. You know, it was really, if you had developed jeans, for an example, you were probably the first one, or there was not such a thing as competition yet. So when it came to marketing, and this ad is actually even before the 1900, it was 1895, if I'm correct, from Levi's. It is about the product attributes. So if you can read the small letters, which you can't right now, you could read that it says we have good buttons, or the fabric is very tough, so you can work it, you can wear it as workwear, which is about the product attributes. And if you skip to the ad on the right, which is a few years ago now, it's more about selling the emotion. If you wear this jeans, you become also tough, but not the fabric, but you become tough yourself, or likable, or you want to be the person in the ad, or you want to be with them. That's basically the idea of marketing nowadays, of ads of jeans in this case. So do you see the difference of what you're selling? You're selling an emotion right now versus you're selling the product. And this was the first step in marketing. It was about product orientation, about the attributes of a product. If we step, well, let's say 30 years in advance, more to the now, this is an image of Madam C.J. Walker, or at least it's an image of a movie about her. Her real name was Sarah Breedlove, and she developed a product for hair, a hair product. She sold it on the markets, which was really new for her time, which is why she became famous afterwards. Too late, she became loved, but too late, as all big persons became in our history, right? The movie's called Self-Made. It's a good watch tip as well, because it's also about marketing and how you market a product. And, well, it's just a nice movie. But you can see her on the market selling her product. Shiny hair, you need this for your hair, which was new at the time. Hard to imagine right now, because you're getting all these cues, all these advertisements towards you every day in thousands of times in your social media timeline, in the streets, everywhere. But back then it wasn't. You had a few posters and you had people in the markets or going around doors, which is why this time is called the sales orientation. Going to the 1940s, more or less, here you can see an image from an old McDonald's, but in the McDonald's museum. But back then in 1940s, it really looked that way. And why did I choose this image? To let you see what they wrote there. Over 1 billion hamburgers sold. That's a lot. And they were really about improving the amount of things they could produce in McDonald's, but also other companies, and which of course does something with your margins. So you could sell it for less, which is the price then what you're focusing on. Going forward in time again, we see the mass marketing was starting to exist, and here you see another viewing tip. You can always call me for what to watch tonight. You see a screenshot from the series Mad Men. Also a really good one to watch if you want to see the start of the real existence. They say it's about the agency Ogilvy. In the series it's called Sterling Cooper. And you see Don Draper here making a pitch for a product. They really started to work out how emotions can help you in marketing, how emotions can help selling a product, which was new at the time. Not for us today, but it was back then. It's not even that long ago, right? Then we skip to the 1980s, and all of a sudden our marketing colleagues started thinking about the consumer. oh wow, they must have they have special needs, and let's treat them as individuals, and let's treat them really well. So for an example, McDonald's started in the 80s with the Happy Meal, which is a way to create loyalty. Why are you coming to McDonald's? Because they have a special something. It's thinking about the needs of your customer. You were already selling hamburgers, and now you've created a package especially for kids. So if your kids want to go to McDonald's, then the parents will as well. This is really about the consumer and thinking from a consumer perspective, which was quite new at the time. Then if we skip 20 years ahead, it's even more about the consumer, but it's more about the individual. The individual really needs to need a product. And getting back to McDonald's, which is a good example because they've existed for so long, and also they spend a lot of time and money on marketing. They created the I'm Loving It campaign, which is a symbol for marketing for the individual and really marketing on the experience. So the individual became the centerpiece of our focus as marketers at the beginning of this century. And also social media played a role in that, of course, which started a bit later. But this is still happening. So if we look at what we're doing today, it's even more about the individual and experience. You see, of course, that a thing like social responsibility is gaining importance. So brands have to be in line with personal views. And also, it's more about guiding the consumer in making the right decisions for them. Competition is higher than ever, so you have to stand out. And the best way to do that is by being honest. Being honest what you can offer a certain customer, being honest about what they really get. And so you really help them to make the best choice. I'm very curious to hear what your thoughts are on this, and if you recognize something, and do you work in a company or do you support customers that are still a bit back in time? Let me know in the comments.